So this is the self-development with tactics book. So hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And as you can see in the background, we are still, and I do just remember something now. Yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm still going to, and I quite forced myself to really make 2 episodes today because I'm actually just now in the same exact summary I've been talking about yesterday, which is something I didn't want to do, or I just changed up because I thought having 2 episodes or 2 summaries in general is a little bit nice, and just to mix them up a little bit so that I'm not actually going through the same shit over and over again. And besides that, it's always or also quite good for you, especially I think when it's the weekend where I do just regularly do make 2 episodes, and then you can just choose or you have more to choose from actually, and I can still produce a little bit more, which is also a good thing. So as you can see in the background, we are going ahead with, I think, The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, or whatever he's called. He's definitely a good entrepreneur, and there was a pretty much great insight in this book in the last episode. So if you're pretty much interested in how this whole summary started, I would just really suggest you to go to the last episode or to the episode before. It just depends whether I will just upload this episode before the other episode or the other way around, because I could just choose now to make it like, yeah, I've just recorded the other one and then this one, but but I'll see. And before I'm going to start with this, I've been just watching a video of the new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus actually. And this is definitely a new smartphone. It's definitely something that I do just still think about quite often in the last few days actually. Is that how the future will look like? I think there are so much ways the future could look like. Maybe in 50 years, in 60 years, and I'm just so fucking pumped for just knowing how it is in the future. I'm pretty much expecting quite a lot, I think, but still I'm just pretty happy that I just know that I'm going to live as long as I can actually, and so long that I can actually have some insights or some I don't know, so that I can just see the future as well. So I'm pretty fucking interested in what it looks like, whether there are flying cars, whether there is no aging, whether there is just so fucking powerful technology, which would definitely be the case because we now have smartphones with four cameras actually. The new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has actually 2 front cameras and 3 rear cameras, so it's a 5-camera device. And the whole front camera setup is just so unique, and you have such a big screen, and I just think that this will just be normal in the future, and a lot of people might just, maybe my kids will just, I don't know, they will just grow up with having, I don't know, some flying tablets, everywhere in the room, and, there's the whole display on it, and you can just, I don't know, mechanically put out the camera to make photos. I don't know, and maybe just you don't need any cameras anymore, and everything is just so different than now, which is definitely a good thing, I think, but I still just pretty much can understand the old people nowadays when they say, yeah, the internet is such a piece of shit, and the whole smartphone thing, you don't need them, we played outside, and all these things. Quite a lot of old people say, in my point of view, so they either they quite like how the future is or how the present is actually, but it's some kind of their future, or they will just be like hating it. But I just think like, okay, I'm just pretty pumped for the future. I'm just very, very interested in how it will look like, how it will feel, if there are cars that are driving by themselves. There are so much questions I'm having, and there are even such infographics. Maybe I can show you. I can show you. Future technology infographic, because I found a pretty interesting infographic. From the futurism.com website, which is, I don't know if this is true. Don't take it definitely with a little grain of salt, because it's definitely just a very, very kind of small time frame for the things they say we will achieve in this time frame. So 2019 there will actually be eye control technology. Okay, this might be a thing totally. 2020 then there would be paper diagnostics. 2023 will be designer antibiotics, which is just some I kind of think these are some kind of bacteria that are just very, very strong, and they just fuck around with the virus or whatever illness you're having, and they're just very, very powerful. So I'll just read this one. Bottom-up technology for building macrolides allow for cheap bespoke antibiotics to defeat superbugs. And in 2024 there will actually be ingestible robots, which is something I thought like, okay, this could definitely just change a lot of things in terms of human health, but to expect it in 2024, which is okay, it's 5 years. It's 5 years. 5 years is not it's pretty a lot, I think. It's not like decades, but it's not it's not a small amount of time. So there's definitely the ability or the chance that this will actually happen. But I'll go just down to 2055, which is actually the last kind of topic they are talking about, or last kind of graphic they are just showing, which is wavetop and undersea and floating cities developed to mine deuterium fusion fuel from seawater emerge as wealthy and powerful city-states in the second half of the 21st century. I don't know if this could be true. I'm not in this technical area, pretty much educated. I'm still interested in it, and therefore I pretty like to see what's going on in the future, what are some opportunities, and I'm pretty interested in this, so I'm just I just keep myself up to date and see what will come, but we still should go ahead with the actual summary. So hiring executives. The first thing you need to know is who you are looking for. And that's true. So Ben stresses that placing value on a lack of weaknesses rather than primarily strength is really useful. Acknowledge what the strengths that you need are and highlight what weaknesses you can handle. Create a template for what you are looking for in an executive and use this as your blueprint. Come up with key questions that will help you find out who fits. Have a team of interviewers that can help with the process. Finally, make the decision alone. It is your decision. Hire who you think fits the bill best. And this is definitely a good advice, and not just let somebody else handle this one, because it's your company and you should totally just choose who is in it or not. I just do not say you shouldn't have any partners or some kind of you're discussing the whole topic with, but yeah, at the end you just have to be conscious about that it is your choice. Growth. Ben acknowledges that when a company starts to grow, whether slow or rapid, the culture is likely to change. The close-knit startup team of 10 will never be able to translate to a payroll of 100 plus. However, Ben mentions it's important to know that although different, it doesn't mean it's bad, and that's totally the truth. A lot of people just, at my point of view, think that something that has changed or something that is changing is automatically bad, or just a lot of times. But actually, which was something that I was quite thinking about and talking about with a colleague today. It was actually all about this future technology shit, and what will happen in the future and all these things. And we just came to a point of global warming. I don't know how, but maybe because we're just wasting a lot of energy, we are losing a lot of energy, we're using a lot of resources of the earth, and so therefore, global warming is, at my point of view, a thing. I know that there are people who just dismiss it anyways, or are like, okay, this is nothing that exists. I still think, this is a thing. But I feel like, okay, if it's, so hot in the future, our children will be adapting to it. We have always been adapting to everything. I'm just sitting now in a house. I'm sitting in front of a PC and talking in a different language that I'm actually, speaking into a camera and into a phone, which is actually a microphone. And just, think back a few 1,000 years or 100 years, no, 1,000 years should be okay, where we were just hunting or just gathering some berries or collecting some berries, and we were just hunting and, just walking around every day, all day long. And it is, we have been adapting to just sitting at home, working and, doing this lifestyle. And I just think, and this is actually the thing that, or there is actually a thing that, I don't want to be racist, and I hope it is not racist to say black people. Is this racist? I don't know. I hope not, I know that there is a German expression which is, or seems to be politically correct, but which is, people with kind of, I would just describe it. So no, I just stick with, black people do just have just softer and bigger lips because of the heat they were exposed to in their main country, actually, or their main continent, because in Africa, where most of the black people live, it is just very, very fucking hot, and therefore having just bigger lips and kind of fuller lips, filled with water, not quite, really with water, but they're, I think, what it is called, it's not meat, let's say meat. Or their flesh is just thicker and so on, and there's more water in it, because it is so hot, and if I'm just staying there, I would just dry out in terms of my lips, so my lips would dry out, and therefore, as I know, so I hope I'm not getting anything wrong or saying anything wrong, just please look it up anyways. This is something that would make sense to me, and this is something that that would make sense to me. But I just really invite you to just, DM me or contact me and tell me, okay, this is not true, and I will definitely just explain it in the next episode or in further episodes if there is something to correct, which is definitely something that I'm not pretty much concerned about, but I just, want to tell you that I'm not the best at this. So I make failure as well, or I make mistakes as well, and therefore just, correct me, or just, put it down in the description, in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, on the podcast, I hope, I will definitely say it in one of the next episodes. Or I will just put it into the podcast description where all the links are and all the other information to what's going on right now. I hope everything is okay. No, I can just speak a little bit lighter. This could be a thing, but I think I should not do this. Something to drink would be an option as well. Growth means it's bad. You just have to be able to scale the culture, embrace change as it occurs, and keep an eye on it. Avoid politics whenever possible. When hiring, Ben recommends that you should be looking for people who are ambitious, but not only for their personal success, but for people who are passionate about the company's overall success. Which is definitely a good thing. If you have just a worker or an employee who is just really passionate about your company and is really willing to just work for your company in terms of actually growing it and being a part of growing it and so on, this is definitely a good sign to just, hire this certain person, because it makes sense. If you just have a company and a lot of people just think about themselves, especially when they're working in a company, they just, they want that wage and everything is okay for them. But it seems to be that there are certain people who are just more concerned about, the company's growth than, anything else or something else. Ben notes that that politics are to be avoided whenever possible. Ensure that there are processes in place to avoid avoidance. To aid avoidance, sorry. You cannot completely avoid political strife in the workplace. Promotions, evaluations, and compensations are all events that will encourage the political behavior. It's important as a CEO to consider the likely outcomes and handle these situations as considerately as possible. That's definitely a thing because, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on politics and, all these certain things. And this was never something that I've been talking about, first of all, definitely. And thinking about as well that, politics just may be a pretty great concern of big companies because, some, Republicans wouldn't like to work with Democrats because they don't want to, I would understand that, because, they have just, definitely just different opinions and, in a few things, maybe they do just have some same opinions, but yeah, it's this was never something I was thinking about. Titles and promotions. Another place the politics are likely to come up is surrounding titles. Everyone feels a need to have a job title and ultimately they are necessary in order to identify who is responsible for what. However, Ben recommends that you focus on creating a structure that is well thought out. Titles and promotions are necessary but can be handled differently to avoid giving them too much attention and placing too much importance on a name alone, which is, definitely a thing. Just, telling somebody, you're the CEO right now. It is something, this kind of word or this name just means such a lot, and it's just because of the word. It's, maybe not even about the position, but yeah, I think you get what I mean. Culture is king. Yeah, having a great culture in your company is definitely a thing that is important. If your company from the inside out is just, pretty much drying out or isn't good, then as I said, from in to out, you will definitely see it on the outside of the company as well and on the products and or services they make. Which makes sense because, if the company in the inside isn't working, then why should it work in the outside? So, having a great culture and having just a nice atmosphere and a happy atmosphere, I think. And this was something, I just have to push that in. And this was something that I was just amazed by VaynerMedia. Because you can just search on YouTube. If you're on this YouTube video, just search now for a YouTube video called how to get a job at VaynerMedia or something. I've seen a video of a guy who was just vlogging the whole experience with actually the job interview. I think it was this guy. I don't remember correctly, so take it with a grain of salt. But he was actually showing the kitchen of the company, and there was beer, unlimited fucking beer out of a, what is it called? The thing that is in the sink where the water comes out. I don't know what this fucking thing is called. There's actually such a thing where you can just, let beer come out. And there are a lot of very expensive just bars in terms of chocolate bars and nutrition bars and whatever bars there are. There were just a lot of fucking of them. I was just amazed by that how well thought out this whole kitchen is. There is something for everybody. I quite understand it that, in VaynerMedia in the New York, it was the New York place, so actually I think the headquarter actually. There are the most employees, I think. I don't know. I just assume. But so that there's something for everybody. But this must, cost a lot of money. Yeah, okay, they're making a lot of money, but it just, really helps with the culture and with the inner or the inside of the company. So as your company grows, culture can help you preserve your key values, make your company a better place to work, and help it perform better in the future. Perhaps most important, after you and your people go through the inhuman amount of work that it will take to build a successful company, it will be an epic tragedy if your company culture is such that even you don't want to work there. Definitely, this must be just really a tough place if you aren't willing to work in your own company because the culture is so fucked up. This is definitely something I think that would be pretty hard. So how to be a leader? Ben identifies 2 key mistakes that CEOs make: taking things too personally and not taking things personally enough. Taking things too personally is a problem. It means that every little issue becomes bigger than it may necessarily be. CEOs can either push the team too hard as a result or make themselves miserable stressing about all the problems. Neither are good results. Not taking things personally enough often results in a CEO not dealing with issues as they arise. Problems can be rationalized to make the CEO feel better at the end result, and the end result is that no progress is made. Yeah, this is definitely the thing. If you're just, pretty much looking away from all the problems you're having in your company, not a good idea. There are a lot of problems, and if you're just ignoring them, they won't get solved, or not completely solved maybe, and this will just fuck you just in the long term. So yeah. The key is to find a balance, be able to separate issues from themselves personally, but be able to assess the importance and speed required to solve a problem. The hardest skill. Ben explains that every CEO is going to face the hard things. It's not an easy road to follow, and the only way to guarantee success is to never give up. Definitely truth, if you're just, there may be hard times, but if you just still know, okay, this will turn out to something that I will love. This is turning out to something I'm proud of, and this is, actually there is something turning out of it. Like, you will have a great life in terms of, financially, so a financially great life, and so on. Then you should definitely go through the hard times. If you know that there is nothing coming out of it, and you will still hate your whole life after you've just achieved that thing, definitely go into another direction. Just, do something else. This is something I learned from The Dip by Seth Godin. An amazingly good book, I think, because it was very short. I've talked about a summary of it on this channel as well. So it was actually a pretty great book. So you can actually, I think you should actually see it in the podcast description. Not in the podcast description, but in the episode description, where I do just have a summary and even the title of the book I'm discussing in this episode, which is definitely a good thing, I think, because you can just see, okay, and there's this book and there's that book, and maybe a book and just think like, okay, I will just see what he is talking about it. And I hope I'm not talking shit about your favorite book. I really hope. But yeah, so the hardest skill. Ben explains that every CEO is going to face the hard things. It's not an easy road to follow. Yeah, and never give up. I just see that I've read that already. So the great CEOs tend to be remarkably consistent in their answers. They all say, I didn't quit. Yeah, definitely. Leadership is never perfect, never. We are all humans and we all make mistakes. And therefore leadership and, everything is never perfect all the time. Some days it could be perfect, but definitely not all the time. And I think it's raining outside. Yeah, it's just pretty strongly raining even. But yeah, so there is no cookie cutter approach to being the perfect CEO. Look at the successful leaders such as Steve Jobs, Bill Campbell, and Andy Grove. Steve Jobs actually, and this was something that kind of opened my eyes, I think, because Gary was actually talking about him, and I actually knew that he was just a pretty tough boss, and he was pretty tough with his employees, and he wanted to let them work all day long and such things like this. So he wasn't pretty much taking care of them properly. So this was what Gary Vee also said, is that he didn't take care of them just good enough, and they So, but yeah, he just achieved something totally, and he just made a lot of things right. And even after he got fired from his own company, and then just applied again, or attended, or just went there again, he still was able to just pretty much kind of rescue the whole company, because they just fucked up everything in between the time where he left and when he came again. So yeah, he was definitely, I think, a good CEO in terms of business-wise and design-wise, definitely. But in terms of handling people, I don't know. I even don't want to judge him. He was an incredible person. But yeah, I'm just saying what I've heard and what I've read and what I know. Yeah, I'm not quite knowing that, so, but yeah. So Ben believes that in order to be successful as a CEO, you really need to be a leader. And in order to be a leader, Ben suggests that you need the following traits. First, the ability to articulate the vision. This is definitely a good thing, because communication is something so complex. It is such a complex thing that there might be just, misunderstandings, a lot of misunderstandings. And if you just can communicate your vision so exactly that there will never be just a misunderstanding anymore from day on, you're just, being the CEO, this is definitely a good thing, because just, people will always know what you're meaning, and they will always just, do the thing that you just wanted them to do. The second one is ambition. But the right kind of ambition. And the third one is the ability to achieve the vision. Definitely a good thing, if you're just dreaming of a vision and without taking action in anything and without just actually being able to just achieve something, might not be the best thing. But yeah. So in the end, some attributes of leadership can be improved more than others, but every CEO actually should work on all three. Making yourself a CEO. Be authentic, come from the right place, and don't get personal. Don't clown people in front of their peers, and understand that feedback is not one size fits at all. Be direct, but never mean. Remember, feedback is a dialogue, not a monologue, definitely. And in terms of feedback, you just, think something happened, then you think like, this is like that. But actually then just talking to the employee is actually a good thing, because he then just, tells you his vision and his point of view and all these things. And then you can just work out something. And, at the end, maybe everybody is just very happy with the end result and everything is good. I think the worst thing you want to have in your company is that, first of all, employees hating you actually because you're such a, fucked up boss. Just having stress, or just having just some kind of combat with your employees. Definitely not a good thing. And this was actually the end of this one, and we will come to the conclusion. This is actually not as long as I thought it would take. I'm actually only 27 minutes in, which is on the other side good, on a total other side not that good, because I just thought like 30 minutes is okay, because the next episode will be 30 minutes again, so therefore I will just put out 60 full minutes of content today. Actually a little bit more, because I do have the vlog from today, today's vlog, and actually the fucking vlog that I wanted to just edit the whole fucking time until now, and I've just edited it now. It turned out pretty fucking good, and I'm pretty happy with how it is now. The conclusion and the key takeaways. Don't give up as soon as it gets hard, totally, because often it is just worth it, just pushing through it and achieving what you always wanted. There are going to be hard times. The key to getting through this is persistence. In order to be a successful CEO, you need to be a leader. A good company needs a good culture and needs to avoid politics wherever possible. Firing is never easy. Make sure you know why you are firing and be transparent about it. Hiring can be equally difficult. Make sure you know exactly what you're looking for in an employee and know what you are willing to compromise on, which is definitely the thing that they were just pointing out before, where you just see like, okay, you need someone who is good in design and who is good in making, spots for TV commercials or some shit like this. But on the other side, you just have to compromise maybe losing some money, or he not actually, in terms of the actual employee or the guy you want to hire, he's actually not able to spell anything correctly, and he is a little bit sloppy and not that clean in terms of his work, and so on. Yeah, I think you know what I mean. A great leader can articulate the vision, is ambitious, and has the ability to carry out the vision. For a company to be successful, focus on the people, then products, and then the profit. This is definitely something that I pretty much enjoyed, as he pointed it out, because I think it's the truth. You just need the people, and with the people you then make the product, and with the product you then make the profit. If it's a service, then it would definitely be like you could just make it alone first of all, and then you just get people and then you make even more profit. So then it would be like service, profit, people, service, more profit. Yeah, actually, I think the further reading. A great complementary book to Ben Horowitz's messages about being a great CEO and leader is Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. He's actually a guy who was on Gary Vee's show as well. Not show, but yeah, show or podcast, I don't know. He was quite interesting. I think he has a design background. I will check just afterward because I'm interested in it. Yeah. So this book is ideal for anyone who leads, whether it be a small team, an entire organization, a community, or a family. As a leader, it's important to create a culture that leaves everyone happy and fulfilled. And this is exactly what Simon describes. Simon emphasizes that when an environment is built on trust, teams will work together, have each other's back, and survive and thrive. Built to Last by Jim Collins examines a selection of visionary companies and identifies what it takes to run a successful organization that will prosper over a long period of time. If you're looking to step up to a managerial or leadership position for the first time, check out The First Time Manager. Guidelines is my ebook that summarizes the main lessons of 33 of the best-selling self-help books in one place. It's 80 pages long and a 150-minute audiobook, so this is actually a book, the guidelines from the author of this article or of this summary, who is Paul Miners. So I'm on the paulminers.com website too. I just want to tell you, every time, because I just want you to just go through it if you want to on your own and be able to just read through it, because I am obviously taking way longer than, if you're just going through it yourself. Yeah. And there are actually action steps. Are you a leader? Take a step back and assess whether you are prioritizing profits, the product, or people. Are you responsible for hiring or firing? Make sure you are well prepared. Create a template when looking to hire someone new. Know what you're looking for and where you are willing to compromise. The third one is identify a time in your career where your business went through a hard time or reached the struggle, and how did you get through this? Brainstorm and see if there was a better way. And the fourth one is, if you like the summary, download the full book on Amazon, which is totally a great thing, because obviously this is something I do want to emphasize more. Only going through a summary just gives you the main just ideas of a book, but I think not the full thing. So yeah, I should just read it more on myself. Definitely, I just feel like I'm nothing reading quite besides this and what I'm reading. In my leisure time for making the posts and whatever. And I actually got from a teacher of mine, because in her lesson I was just showing one of my videos. She has given me a book about body language, which is something I will definitely go through and at least look at all the pictures. Something that I was a little bit, I don't know, even though it's my English teacher, she gave the book to me, which is a German book, and I do not pretty much like to read things in German. I do feel like, okay, I want to, read things in English because I want to get better and better and better and better until I'm really able to speak here, right, so fluently and so kind of perfectly, even though there's nothing like perfectionism, and perfectionism is just, a waste of time. But I'm still thinking that I'm doing quite a good job, I hope, and I hope you understand everything. And this is it actually, and I hope you got something out of it, quite a lot out of it. I wish you the best, and happiness, so success, wealth, health, happiness. I hope you're giving back something, and a great legacy, because legacy is important, legacy is key, and just be nice to the people. Just it's, in terms of me, I just want to be quite remembered as the guy who was really nice, who was the one who helped the people, the one who it's just sad that he died, at the end of my life. Yeah. And with this being said, I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I see you.